Namaste and welcome. I wanted to share some news about the programs and the upcoming courses for Term 2. So I hope you will spend a few minutes and stay with me. But first of all, I just wanted to use this opportunity to acknowledge all those who have been with me in this iteration of my practice as moving archetypes. I know that some of you have been with me from the first class I offered as moving archetypes some years ago, and some of you have done courses and classes throughout this period. But to each one of you, I bow my head, I honor you, and I offer my respects to you. I thank you for your company, your wisdom, your love, your commitment, and the loving attention that you have brought to this practice. In this practice, they speak about Sahridaya, which is those who share the same heart space. And this is important because it requires a heart perception to know this practice. And this is something that is a very special quality. So to those who come together in this practice, I know that it takes a particular insight, and it takes a special sensitivity, and it takes a certain yearning to honor this practice. And I also know that through each one of us who practice, this knowing breathes and lives in our times. And through us, it offers a way of living in harmony with all of reality and with all of nature in these times, which is so very needed. So thank you from my heart. As you know, from last month, I offered Reclaiming Your Sacred Self, which is my 6-month individual transformation program for women. And I am delighted and honored that women have joined me in this program. And already we have been seeing the power of this practice to be alive, to show itself, to be potent and alive in these times. I'd like to share a story with you, and I have the permission of the woman that I'm working with to do this. One of the women, her deity of practice is Rudra, and she came to one of the sessions and she said that during the week, the image that has been coming to her was this image of this very huge ancient bull with very long horns and a lot of hair. As you know, I always encourage people who come to the practice to not look for textual information that crowds the minds and the bodies, and so it was with her as well. So when I showed her this particular image that she was talking about, it was incredible because this image dates back to the artifacts found in the excavations of the Indus Valley, which is a prehistoric civilization. And this particular image is an ancient symbol of Rudra. Even if she had looked on the internet, it would have been very difficult to find this particular association. When I showed her the image, she said that was exactly the image that had come to her. These are called siddhis, and today we understand siddhis in many practices to mean a miracle, but really what a siddhi is an indication, it's a signal from the practice that we are in the right practice space. It is also an affirmation of the fact that the practice is living. It is living with you as you are doing it. That it is not some kind of an ancient, archaic fantasy, but that It lives, it breathes, and it actually informs us. And that's what it is doing in providing us these signals of affirmation or siddhis. Every time I do this practice, it never ceases to amaze me with the power that it provides, with the promise that it delivers about its relevance, and the promise that it is living, moving, and breathing with you as you practice. If you feel so inclined, if you feel that it is the right time for you to deepen your practice or to move into a one-on-one practice space, I invite you to get in touch with me. I can give you more information. I also provide a free one-on-one session where I can give you more details about the practice, and you can find out whether this is the right thing for you at this time. The courses for Term 2 are also going to focus on something that is really unique and special, and this is Aditi, the Unbound Great Mother. We all talk a lot about goddess practices and ancient goddess philosophies, but I think that what comes to us from the dance is that this practice, the Great Mother practice, the Great Goddess, the Unbound Goddess, is something in and of itself. And we miss the full potency and the full universe of this practice when we look at it from the lens of where we are now, when we consider it as relational to the mind-driven or the patriarchal systems that we live in now, or when we think about this as something that is opposed to the paradigms we live in now. And this came to me because dance is one of the richest repositories of these kind of great goddess traditions and practices. And that is true of ancient dance traditions all over the world. But what is special about Indian dance and what is unique about it is that we still have this rich, sophisticated practice philosophy in the form of the Natya Shastra text, of which the earliest date is about 250 BCE. This is something really unique in all of the cultures of the world. And what this means is that we have still access to this body of practice, almost untouched. Because a lot of the commentaries on the Natya Shastra, for us, fortunately, were not written by dancers. And so a lot of the dance components of Natya Shastra survives without being fragmented or unpacked to a great extent. And these hold in them the mystery of this alchemical great goddess traditions and practices. And it also came to me that this is such an appropriate practice as we go into autumn and winter, because the Aditi practice is really spacious, it is simple, it invites a certain coming to rest, a certain homecoming, and it invites a wonderfully nourishing depth. And so we will have the usual classes, which are the rasa classes, where we will study the dance of Aditi. We will have the dance contemplation classes, where we move much more into movement as reflection and meditation. And we have the Karana classes, where we go to the ancient dance practices which are focused on this great goddess tradition from the Natya Shastra text. The philosophy classes are also going to be quite unique for these, to support these courses, because in the philosophy class we are going to be led by the practice text, the Natya Shastra, and look at what does the text, what does this practice text through the dance reveal about the philosophy of this great mother traditions. So normally what happens is that we think about the dance text itself as an illustration of all these other existing philosophies, but it is the dance that is the source of the philosophy. And so that's how we are going to approach it. So I look forward to the grace and the honor of your company in all of my offerings. And once again, I thank you for making time to listen to me, and I hope to see you all again soon. Namaste and thank you.